What's happening, y'all? I was just running and had something on my mind that I wanted to share about my belief on lyrics and being mindful about what I write. First off, I believe that, what you speak about and what you think about, you bring about. And I think that, when people think that they are describing or, describing the past or describing the future, they're actually, or describing the present, they're actually prescribing the future. That makes sense. So if you think you're just, but what you're saying is describing the moment that you're in, or you're describing the past, I think that what you don't realize is you're actually prescribing the future. And, and I'm saying that from experience because years ago, everything I used to write about was attached to just pain and, hardships and bad relationships with women and things like that. And in all honesty, I noticed that the more that I would write about it, the more real it would become. And I started to perpetuate the very thing that I thought that I was trying to escape. And so I really got more clear and a lot more mindful about the type of music that I want to create and what I want to put out. And then I also realized that if you, just thinking about how impressionable I was with the artists that I grew up listening to, people who glamorized their pain or, sung about the things like that, it made me want to be more like that. And in all honesty, contributed to me or inhibited me from growing into a better person and growing into the man that I am today. And I think that it's real evident, like there's a lot of people out there that are singing about crazy crap, man, talking about drugs and sex and all of that. And then they're dying, they're professing their own death. I mean, you look at Mac Miller, look at Tupac, look at Biggie, look what happened to Nipsey. Bradley Noel from Sublime, sing about, he professed his death in Pool Shark. People like, there's a couple other ones that I was thinking of earlier. I mean, you look at Chris Cornell, and then people in bands like Korn and Linkin Park and all that, they're literally negative vibe merchants, and they're constantly singing about all this pain. And what happens is that becomes deeply rooted into your identity. And whenever that's your identity, that's the strongest force in human nature. It's really hard to overcome. And what your mind is going to do, your mind is going to go to work to bring into fruition whatever you believe. That's why, you see that there's so many different people with so many different beliefs that truly experience the world in a completely different way. And it's because their mind is going to work to support their beliefs. And when you're constantly singing about your addictions or your hardships or your pain or your struggle, and while you think that you may just be singing about the past or singing about the future or just keeping it real or whatever you want to call it, you're locking yourself in and perpetuating the same thing that you're saying that you're trying to escape. So I just now, like people ask me about my older music. I have over 100 songs that I've written and recorded, and I did it at a time whenever, digital streaming wasn't as big of a thing. And thank God, because I was reading through some of my old lyric sheets and listening to some of my old music very briefly because I don't like to listen to it anymore. And it's just dark, and it's not something that I want to share with the world. It's not something I want my kids to listen to. And I think it's kind of like, for me, I'm to a point to where it kind of feels, and I was thinking about, it must be similar to how, like, let's say that somebody who used to deal drugs, and they really contributed to a lot of people's addiction and hurt, and kept them in a dark spot and kept them sick. And then they've found God, and they've found healing, and now they're remorseful for all the lives that they damaged when they were in that space in their life. And that's kind of how I feel about my old music, and which leads me to the point that what I want to do is I'm very mindful about what I write about. I'd rather change the world in a positive way with my music. And I think, especially with people who have actually made it and people who are doing great things in the industry, you have such a big power of influence. So why would you not want to use that to to change the paradigm and to get the world moving in the right direction. And honestly, I think the paradigm is shifting. I mean, when I'm in the gym, I hear worship music playing in top 40, which, you know, I never thought that I would see that day. And then we got people like Kanye who just completely turned it around and are putting out positive music. D1. There's a lot of people who are doing it, so I think the paradigm is shifting. But that's the side of history that I would like to be on as an artist, as a lyricist, as an MC. So I just think it's really important to be mindful. I want to make music that I can show my kids. You know, I want to make music that I can share with anyone, and music that inspires people. I want to make fight music that makes people want to make great change in their life, you know. And I don't think that you have to, you know, you don't have to keep it dark to share your experience, strength, and hope with others. So anyways, that's my take on lyricism, and just trying to be mindful about what I write. And I'm in a spot in my life where that's the culture that I'm trying to create. I'm looking to connect and collaborate with like-minded artists who want to make a difference, who want to make positive music and music that changes lives, not music that perpetuates the problem. I don't want to be a negative vibe merchant. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's my thoughts on lyricism. I was just wanting to get that out. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Stay quarantined, be socially responsible, and stay safe from that corona. Peace.